What's up, Gatriarchs? We are still taking our much-needed vacation. I think Gavin is at some bathhouse in the Bahamas. For now, we are going to throw.
But I'm here. Nope.
He's here. Oh, welcome back. Wow.
There's a great connection here down here in the Bahamas. It's very, very strong.
He's just covered in semen.
So
we're throwing back this week to episode 21. The legal episode with MX Domestic.
MX Domestic was a fantastic find. It was one of the first times we reached out to somebody that we did not know on the gram. And they have a really, really special way of spreading light and joy. They've been through a lot in their life, and they don't have any problem telling us about a lot of that and how parenthood has given them so much more meaning, which is something that we can all relate to.
And also, they're very funny.
Very funny.
So enjoy this throwback to episode 21 with MX Domestic. We'll see you on January 3rd with all new episodes.
Can't wait. I'm sure that there are people who are into casual conversation. Actually, are there? Or are they into like steamy conversation because somebody else is letting a steamer, I suppose? I don't know. But
I'm cutting all of that.
Yeah,
okay. None of that will go public whatsoever.
And this is Gatriarchs.
So we've been doing this thing with my son where he will give me a prompt of what to draw, and then I'll draw it, right? We have this like little kind of like, it's like a little drawing tablet. You can kind of push a button and it erases, like a super fancy Etch-a-Sketch.
Sure.
And so we've been doing that, and it's really fun, right? He'll be like, draw a spaceship, draw a fire truck, whatever. The other day, he was like, draw a woman on fire. And I was like, I had that moment of where I just like looked around the room for the closest escape route. I was like,
or the cameras.
Is this kid gonna fucking murder me?
Oh,
a woman on fire? But he's like, do it, Daddy. So I'm like
how did you do it? What part of her was on fire?
I just drew a woman and like a 1950s woman, right? Like a paper doll dress kind of a deal. Yeah. And then just like flames in the background. But I just was like, this is some fucking dark shit.
Well, wait a minute. Now, Elemental, the Disney movie, is out, and I believe like it just looks like oh God, what's the?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, where it's like their body's on fire, but it's not like they're burning alive.
And it's a lady. Like it seems like the main character.
All I could think of was like a person who had been lit on fire.
Oh yeah, I
see
that too.
Yeah,
but maybe. Have you already taken him to see Elemental? Maybe that's what he was.
I have not. No.
Anyway, asking about your future.
That was my week.
I am constantly trying not to compare my kids. But when you have a kid who does A and a kid who does B, and one kid does A very well but B badly, and one kid does B very well but A badly, how do you avoid comparing them? So anyway, one of my kids is very much like, don't you dare compare me to the other kid, and I'm trying very hard not to identify their identifying elements. But I'm like, listen, just stop being an asshole like your sibling, And I'm able to go back and forth with both of those things. But the idea of being able to compare, sometimes I do want to be like, if you just did it a little more like your sibling, everything would be easier.
That's why you should always have a second kid. It's a backup kid. Because if one kid breaks, the other one's ready. And I honestly, sometimes I feel like when one kid's being an asshole, the other one usually isn't. So then I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm just going to leave you in here crying. I'm going to go hang out with a good one.
Yep, absolutely. And bringing that brutal honesty is going to make everybody stronger in the end. So,
or an artist.
With damage. I mean, how can you be a good artist without being a little bit damaged, right?
So one of the things that I wasn't prepared for when I became a parent was how every single relationship in my life changed.
And they definitely do.
And I would say on the majority, most changed for the better, whatever that meant. But every relationship, to the relationship I had with my mail carrier, to my mom, to my kids, to my friends, to like literally everyone in my life. Like,
I was not expecting mail carrier to come out first there.
Her name is Miss Penny, and she's amazing.
M-A-I-L?
Oh, yeah. No, not M-A-L-E, but that's clever. So I just thought, I don't know, it's something interesting that we could talk about because I don't think I was ready for that. And the only thing I thought I was ready for was like, oh yeah, maybe people without kids would not want to hang out with me as much. Was that your long guy just driving by? The hot one or the old one? The old one? You're muted right now. Yeah. There you
Sorry.
go.
Yeah, I didn't hit mute fast enough as he zipped by. It was not the hot one. I mean, and I'm all about old hotties too, but this guy is not.
So,
regardless of his age.
So did relationships change in your life when you became a parent?
It's a fact of life that it's hard for all of us to sometimes rectify that relationships do change all the time, but they go in hyperspeed when you have children. And I mean, it reminds me of being in middle school and being disenchanted with the kids in my freshman or in high school. My freshman year, my friend group changed by my sophomore year, and I think I just wanted to be like it was. And then when you have kids, and you're like, wait a minute, I just wanted to be like it was. But all of the relationships change so quickly, and we do admittedly. It's fun to just commiserate and complain about your kids and compare and whatnot, but it is exasperating and, as we know, exhausting for people who don't have kids and also people who have the wherewithal to be like, can we stop talking about our kids? But it's also fun to talk about kids, too. I mean, that's why we're here, because we have fun doing it. But what exactly? Something sticking in your craw, I have a feeling right now, about friendships changing.
I wouldn't say it was sticking in my craw. I was surprised. Like, so one of the examples is like prior to having my first kid, when we were telling everybody, oh, we're like pregnant, the reactions I got, right? Some people were like, oh, that's so cool. I had one of my closest friends in the world say to me, oh, first words out of his mouth, oh no, we're not going to get to hang out anymore. And I get
that's so Sex in the City.
Yeah, but I get the idea, right? It's like, I know you're gonna be busier, so it like our friendship will change or whatever. But it was a little bit of like a shock. And then of course like the opposite, right? People were like super excited or whatever. So one of the things is like with your own family members and your parents, your siblings or whatever. I found that on the whole, the relationships deepened. They got better. I don't know if you felt that way, but like my relationship with my mom and my aunts and my uncles and everything, it deepened those relationships.
That's interesting that you're the one who's all like profound and sincere here, because my thought is actually, it's interesting how I feel like I have more friendships that are transitory and change based upon the circumstances. Like I have a lot of my kids' elementary school friends' parents from New York, and I don't live in the city anymore. And an awful lot of those people have dropped off the planet. And it's not because we don't like each other anymore. It's just out of sight, out of mind. Or I have my soccer friends. I mean, for my kids, my soccer friends, and then I have the lacrosse friends, and then I have the just academic friends, and somewhere I love the parents, but our kids don't necessarily get along that well. And I'm like, tough. We're all gonna hang out because I like the parents, and this is about me. It's not about you either. But it is transitory, where you kind of have to make peace with sometimes you have the playground friends and then not necessarily friends. And it makes you examine like, well, is this a real friendship or is it not if it's so transitory? And yet it's a real friendship. It's just a kind of different kind of real friendship, I think.
So yes, I think part of that is due to the fact that we've grew up in the arts, right, as actors. And so our lives have been very transitory, right? Because, we go to a regional gig, and then we do a national tour, and then we do a Broadway show, and then we go to Europe and whatever. And so your best friends, your family members are the people around you.
They're intense and
totally
quick.
So I just thought, I don't know why. I just thought like my family, like my mom and dad and siblings and stuff, it deepened the relationship there because it was fun to watch them as a aunt, uncle, grandma, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I found the only really negative is I felt like a lot of my friendships that I wished had continued or adjusted to my new life, really, because my life is the one that changed, didn't, and they were just that connect, because parenting had become such a big part of my life that that our friendship suffered for that. And I think that's normal. It saddened me because part of me wanted to like reach out and be like, no, we still have the same relationship. My time is just a little different. Let's just schedule it. We just have to schedule, right? And like, which is, very like, I'm busy. But that is the one downside, was that like I had friends who just, they were just like, yeah, he's busy now. And they just kind of faded away.
Yeah.
But I think that's the natural part of becoming parents, is that relationships ebb and flow and whatever. Yep. But, yeah, but then there's the last thing I want to talk about, which is fucking hilarious to me, which is when you become a parent, you are forced into these bite-sized relationships with other parent people. That's either at the daycare or at the birthday party or at the park or whatever. And at the worst, it's like you're forced to stand awkwardly next to this other dad at a barbecue and make conversation about
so
things.
much small talk. How do people do it if they don't drink? Also,
don't know.
I feel like if you bring them, and which is terrible also because I feel fortunate that I don't drink. I'm an alcoholic, but the idea that we have to drink everywhere to be able to have any kind of social lubricant is kind of too bad. But I can't imagine going to. I hate birthday kids preschool birthday parties if there's not booze. Come on, because this is just torture for everyone.
But I will say, surprisingly, we have kind of befriended two parents of kids in my kids' social circle that have become really fucking cool. Like I was like, we said this the other day, which I think is a really high mark. I would be friends with you even if we didn't have kids that were friends with each other. And so like we're already planning like a night out where we all go hang out and go to a bar and get babysitters. Let's move on to our top 3 list, shall we?
Yeah. So this
was your...
I know it's a little nebulous, but I want to know what the 3 things that are hotter than summer. So let me go first. Number 3, Aperol spritzes. For me, an Aperol spritz, you know what an Aperol spritz is, right?
I do
It's a
not.
drink. It's an Italian drink, and it is like 2 parts Prosecco, or just cheap champagne, a little bit of seltzer on top, and a spritz of Aperol, like the liqueur, kind of like Campari. Mm-hmm. Super bitter, but it is a quintessential Italian drink. And for me, it is a Vespa and short shorts and thick 1960s eye makeup and big old high heels, and it's just like sex in a drink. I just want to hop on a Vespa and ride around in the summertime in the Italian hills. So for me, I'm telling you, an Aperol spritz, it brings hotter than hotter to me. Then also, hotter than summer to me. Then number 2, the Banana Republic catalog with short shorts. I was just flipping through the other day and I'm like, yes, God bless short shorts, because that's what I need. And number 1, hotter than hotter, the Spotify Pride 2023 playlist. I just want to hear all of that good time music that makes you smile and makes you want to grind up against another boy or girl or just like dance and dance and dance. It makes me really happy, and I think it's hotter than summer. What about you, David?
Well, I feel like I was misled on what.
No, there was no misleading. It's just whatever you want.
Yeah, but now that you're saying all these like sexy things, now my list is fucking stupid. my list is literally hot things.
That's all right. Make your hot. Tell us what your hot things are, David.
Well, okay. So in number 3, that one empty subway car in summer.
Yes. Okay.
If you live in a big city and it's rush hour and every car is full and there's that one car that's empty. That is hot.
That's hotter than summer. Good.
Number 2, it's in the title. Hot Pockets. There's no such thing as a Hot Pocket that is not molten goddamn lava.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And number 1, thing hotter than summer? Zoos. Why are zoos always fucking hot?
So hot. There's no shade.
There's no, every zoo experience from the fucking parking lot all the way through it is hot. So number 1, zoos. And now I feel like I have to add like a bonus one because it was sexy. Please. So I'll say number 1, hotter than summer, sexy edition is like when you're on a plane and you're sitting down on the aisle seat and some hot guy comes up near you and then starts putting his bag above you and his shirt lifts up a little bit and you just get to see like 3/4 of an inch of belly or underwear line or whatever it is. Oof,
wow, you came up with that on the fly. That was a really good one. I mean, there were
even the amount of things that are going on constantly in this head would really terrify most people. So next time, let's do our list for next week will be our top 3 things that aren't a big deal as a parent.
Love it. Let's do it. Our next guest is an influencer of a different kind, a leader in parenting, in gender identity advocacy, in political statements and social justice, but they're most known as an outspoken, transparent, relentless thought leader in what? Crafting. Welcome to the show, the Themper of sewing and crafting, Matthew Boudreau, best known as MX Domestic. Matthew,
welcome.
Why in the hell are you talking to us at 7 a.m. your time?
What? No.
Well, I get up at 4 in the morning. I just do that, and so like I've already been up and about and laid on my couch and took my first nap, so I'm good to go. Yeah, this is when it gets going for me.
Why are you up at 4 in the morning?
It started, I mean, part of it started with the daughter when she came into our life, and then she took over my bed. Then
This
once
is
you're a
why
parent, you
nobody
don't
should
get
be a
sleep.
parent.
But then we got dogs during the pandemic, and then like now my spouse has kicked into another room, and so like one of the dogs sleeps with me. And it started when she was a puppy, and she would wake up at 4, and I didn't want her to pee all over me, so I would just like take her outside, and now it's my body just does it.
But the fact that you have the self-control to be like, you know what, rather than going back, laying in bed, staring at the ceiling and thinking I should do something, but you just lay there like I do, you get up and you take advantage of the day.
But does your kid get up at 4 or does your kid get up later?
No, like she's still asleep, and she's out of school now, so she's asleep. That's the only quiet time I get to myself.
I was just gonna say that's the only time you get to yourself where people don't need things from you.
Yeah, that part. True. And my mom was like that, and I never understood. I was like, that's so weird. But now I'm like, no, there's no noise. No one. I've become my mother. What the fuck? As long as I'm not like a racist bigot, then that's great.
There's still time. There's still time in that.
Okay, so Matthew, you are about to give yourself a self-imposed summer break, but I'm curious, what are you working on craft-wise today? What are you trying to finish up?
Right now, I'm working on my Lone Star Pride quilt that I started. I taught this in a class last weekend. My first class since I had my psychotic break and mental breakdown last year. I wanted to see if I could do it. And then they're all the fabrics I designed. And so the class was really graceful, and like I did it. I was like, yay, my brain works again. But I'll probably finish this up before I start my vacation, just because it's Pride time. And so I sew and craft through Pride as opposed to the parties.
But wait, have you always been a crafter? Like, has that been a staple of your life, or is this like a relatively new phenomenon for you?
It's a newer thing. It's like the story of Mixed Domestic, formerly known as Mr. Domestic, is that like when I was growing up, I always wanted to learn, and my mom wouldn't teach me because I had the wrong genitalia. And so like I would sit there pining on the floor, wanting her to like teach me all of her ways, and then she would like look over my head, wishing my sisters would want to learn. So like I yearned for it, and I wanted it. And so whenever my daughter was born, my spouse bought me some sewing classes, knowing I wanted to connect with my parent that way. And then I just like jumped in, and with my kid as my inspiration, like the sky was the limit, and I was like so much better than I ever imagined I would be. And then put that on social media, and with this personality, and it blew up, and totally unexpected. But yeah, it was always inside of me. I just never got to do it until about
I mean, same for me, just something different. But also when I was in middle school, I took one home ec class. That was the first time a home ec class was taken. I was the only boy in the class, of course. And I remember sewing a pillow, and it was remember Shirt Tails, like the cartoon Shirt Tails?
Yes.
It was like a Shirt Tails animal pillow that I made, and I have never been more proud of anything in my entire life than this pillow. Just this gay little 7th grader walking around school, you know, people spitting on me and calling me faggot, but I was so happy with this pillow. Also in that class was a girl, I won't say her name, but she got preggers, and she disappeared.
What? Okay, that
Listen, I went to school in rural Florida, so like this is expected. But I remember her just like, she was like kind of my friend, and then she was starting to show, and then she like told me, and then she just disappeared, and I never saw her again. Anyway, welcome, Matthew.
You know what? Things have changed. Things have changed though a little bit in that in my kids' middle school, everybody takes home ec. And everyone takes shop. Everybody takes, shop class as well. Everybody, like in 7th grade, they all do cooking and whatnot. And so she came home with a teddy bear that they all had to make at the end of the year as their 6th grade project. And I thought, I'm so glad everybody's learning these skills, whether or not you love to do it, whether or not it's an art and a craft for you, but like literally being able to sew up a patch is an important life skill.
It's a life skill. It's super important. I mean, like my kid understands it, but I do know how to like woodworking and that kind of stuff too. So it's a
for those of you who can't see, they just did this like masculine burly, like I'm wearing a red flannel.
Matthew just put on lederhosen and just did a little dance.
It's very much an agender situation. I cover all the bases.
Yes, Matthew actually pulled out some quilting material and just made some suspenders right there that looked super German.
Right now, it's fabulous.
Have you ever seen The Cutting Edge, the movie about figure skating?
One of my favorite movies. I've seen that at least 100 times. Oh my God, when they're swinging her, she's almost hitting the up and down, up and down. Catches her. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite gay movies.
Gavin just said lederhosen. My first thought was, do you remember when the team before them were skating and he goes, and they fell in their sit spin, and the commentator goes, I'm not sure, but I think she got caught on his lederhosen.
Lederhosen, yes, bury that. Are we all the same age? I'm 47. I'm assuming I'm older than everyone, but like our references.
Yes. No,
47.
Gavin literally lived through the Great Depression. I'm 43, but we're all in our 40s.
Yes, right on. Yeah. Okay, so we get each other.
And nailing this. Yeah. Wait, so back to sewing, crafting, and your daughter. Does she appreciate what you do, and does she do it as well?
Yeah, she has been a part of it since the very beginning, and that's part of how we bonded. Is like I would take her to the fabric stores, and even as a baby, whatever fabric she would touch, I would grab, and then her taste was horrible in my opinion, but I would grab it, and then I'd bring it home and I'd make something with it. But what I learned and empowered her to do is that just to trust her instincts, because I would make it cute, and it kind of pushed me further than I would, because I would be pretty basic if I picked everything, but with what she would pick, it would just like take me out of my comfort zone. So that's how it started. And she got frustrated like towards the early part of her like kidness, because she wanted to be able to make things at the quality that I could, but she just couldn't. And of course I didn't have the patience to like teach her to get there, because I wanted to create myself. And now she's like into like beads, so she's found her like little place, and she does jewelry and beads, and she has her little station in my room that's just for her, that she can come in, because I want her to be integrated in this without forcing her. Like if she chooses not to do this, like my spouse, like they fish, so if she goes out route and wants to do that, fine, it's okay, just don't bring your stinky ass into my room. And that's totally
I just want to point out your voice and your body changed when you're like fish, like you became like all of a sudden like there was
lederhosen,
the lederhosen
came back out.
Wait, but how did you become a parent? Because we all have that like origin story as queer people. Like, how did you become a parent?
I always wanted to be a parent my whole life, and so I talked about it to anyone that would want to listen. And it's like you visualize it, manifest it, it will happen. But I've been married. It's part of why we moved to the Pacific Northwest. First, we were in Texas, emigrated from Texas, went to California, to Los Angeles, and it was way too expensive. Moved to the Pacific Northwest when we got married. And I was getting my master's in business, and everyone was so young. And there was one person I connected with that was closer to my age. And of course, I tell everyone, I want to adopt a kid. I'm very much interested. Like, that's what I want to do, because people want to know, you're married or you're going to have a kid. That's just the next, especially if they're a straight person, they want to know, because that's the model. And so I'd be like, I want to adopt a kid. I always want to have a kid. Like, I would be an amazing dad. And so the one person I connected with, she reached out to me randomly and like sent me a text. Hey, are you serious about wanting to adopt? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I always want to, like not knowing what she wanted. She's like, I actually have an employee that just came up to me and told me that she's 2 months pregnant and she wants to give her kid to a same-sex couple. And I was like, what?
Time.
Like, this is easy.
Right. And then right. Well, the birth mom, her aunt is a lesbian, and it took her aunt 7 years to adopt. And so it's just something she always wanted to do and didn't want to be a parent herself. And so, we connected with the birth parents who were married at the time. We hit it off, and like, I was like, you're not allowed to back out of this. Like, not in a threatening, menacing way or anything, but I was like, no, this is happening.
Not with like a knife in your hand.
Yeah. And like, so we were a part of it from her being in the birth mom's womb 2 months until in the delivery room where I cut the cord, and I was the first one to hold her, and we did skin to skin, and we had a room next to the birth parents, and like hung out for like the entire week until we went our separate ways. And then I was a parent. So it was very serendipitous, very me sharing too much information my entire life, and the right person having a conduit in. And
but I mean, it that doesn't exactly mirror all of the other challenges that you love to be able to be transparent about and let the world know, hey, life's hard, so let's all get in on those together. But being a parent is totally easy. Getting babies is totally easy, huh?
I mean, it clearly I was like, but that's also been part of my journey. As I realized, I'm perpetually grateful, because did I ever think it would happen? No, I was 37 when it happened. I was reaching the end of my eggs were drying up, so it was
just little grapes on the vines.
I was like, I didn't know. So the fact that it happened, it's like there's not a damn day I'm not grateful. There's not. There's just not.
Now, I'm sure that your parenting story is amazing, but tell us how your daughter has screwed up a craft or two. What horror story has
Well, you already
she created?
said she has terrible taste, which
Terrible
made me laugh out loud.
And you said you're basic, but I bet that's a basic fabulosity, I would imagine. But please tell us.
Well, I never said she was horrible. Don't rewind it or play that. No, I did. I said her taste was suspicious. No, she just
questionable.
She just would, like a kid would just grab stuff that was like, I don't know, shiny and sparkly. And me, no, I'm nervous about that kind of stuff. Like I can put 3 colors together, and that, like right now I'm wearing black on black on black. That's my clothes.
Yeah.
But she pushed me out of my comfort zone. Screwing up? Yeah. No. Her coming in here when I'm working on stuff and then touching it and getting her grubby hands on it as far as it goes. But like,
kids will ruin every part of your life.
yeah, as far as
slowly.
her messing up a craft, nah, she doesn't really. Because I don't ever put a standard on anything that she creates as well as mine. So whatever it looks like, yeah, that's great, because to me, even with my creations as a grown human, it's like, it's not about the end result. And this is something that she's ingrained in herself. It's about the process. So when she was done, I'd always be like, so how'd you feel going through that? Did you enjoy the process? Did you hate it? Was it gross? So as long as she enjoyed the process, I was like, yeah.
Does she put a half loop stitch on China silk?
No, she doesn't.
Because it'll pucker.
She doesn't know how to. But you know what she did? She just told me recently that she was done making bracelets. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because then I'm like, that's our connection. Like, does that mean we're done? Like, is this how it starts? Is this the beginning of the end?
Because she's just going to start fishing from here on out instead?
Well, I don't know about that part either. But I think it's because it was her pandemic thing.
Yeah.
Her time.
And like she's always done crafts and stuff. Like she still comes in here and creates, but it's like that was her obsession. We all had our thing that like kind of got us through, not one to like go totally crazy. Like,
what is your number one thing? Like if it was just like a day and you're like, I have 3 hours, I just want to make something, what would be that thing?
Probably crochet right now. Yeah, I'm more known for quilting for some reason. It's like the conservative women all over the globe like latched on to me, even though it's not my dominant like medium. Crochet, it's easy. You grab yarn, you grab a hook, and you can stick it in there and make anything.
You just wiggle it a little bit, and then like a blanket comes out.
I mean, there are so many double entendres, like threading that needle and shoving those and poking those holes and darning those socks and everything. I mean, would you say as an asexual being, is this your sexuality coming out through your crafting?
Absolutely. I am full of double entendre, and I try to pretend like it's not intentional because I'm like, oh, me? No, I'm not that way at all. But yeah, I'm. It's just such a part of me, the double entendre, that it just comes out, and I let other people have fun with it.
But wait, you have a huge social media following. Do you have a lot of conservative women following you? And why are they following you? Are they not offended by everything you do?
That part, yeah, probably. But because in the very beginning of this whole thing, I basically discovered that my first iteration of followers were like my mother. Over and over and over and again. And I knew how to like do that. Be the like outwardly like super flamboyant, not that I'm not like gay version of rainbow. It's like that palatable, the good kind of gay that they would say. So I would do that. Then I found that I had
from a distance.
That part. So I had a bunch of them, and those conservative women love you if you're listening. You probably aren't, but like they don't realize they're not supposed to fuck with us. They just don't realize. They see us as like, oh my God, you're shiny and new and you're fun and you'll deal with me and you're not like too offensive. And so I want to be a part of you and take what I love from you, but then the rest of it, fuck off.
A little sideshow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of that, and like I played into that, and that's I had a bunch of brand deals being that character. But once I started to speak out on social justice and be more like myself, a bunch of them stuck around. So I would say most of my following is not conservative, but I have a bunch of them that appreciate the fact that I push them, and I do it for the most part in a way that like brings them along and doesn't make them feel like they're totally horrible. But
you have unique access to them, which is really weird. Like you have this unique access point to them. Yeah,
that part, and it's impossible to get away from them if you're a crafter. Like they're everywhere.
And also, this goes along with your non-binary identity, I would say, too, is that it's not all just black or white, blue, red, and whatnot. There are nuances of the people who are following you and who are being creative. And I mean, we so often write off people who don't believe the same things we do. But maybe, you're reminding us that in humanity, there is evolution and people want to learn.
I'm trying.
I know. But
I'm trying, and it's It's fucking hard, and that's part of my I've been speaking out on shit for 3 years. And the very beginning, I wanted to make everyone feel stupid, which is most of what people do on the internet when they talk about issues. It's like you're virtue signaling to the people that think like you, and it's not so much about trying to bring people on. But like as I alluded to, like I had a nervous breakdown, and I tried to kill myself last year, and it was horrible because I was dissociated, psychotic break. I can't do that anymore, and I wasn't reaching anyone. And part of it was just the constant backlash from people. My spirit can't handle it. That it's like I kind of like put my big human panties on, and I was like, you know what am I really trying to fucking do here? Am I trying to get as like a million followers, or am I trying to like help people as a grown up? So I realized my vulnerability is what brings people in more, and like trying to find the human connection to where it's more we as opposed to you. And that's what I've been doing this year, and my account's been growing even more, which it's always surprising when I lean into myself and I grow bigger. It's it's
that's what they said.
That's what they said. So it's where I'm at now is instead of attacking, I want to find the humanity in someone before I even get in front of my phone to record, because if I can't find that humanity, I'm not doing it for the right reason, and that could potentially like cause me to spiral, and like I don't want to risk that. And so it's been a learning, but I think that more of us need to get out of our fucking silos, because for me that caused me to have a breakdown. I felt so isolated. I had like 3 people in my life, and so it's like we can't exist that way, which doesn't mean I want to fuck with people who go to church and call me a sinner and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm not interested, but I can try to talk to everyone else who's not on the extreme edge.
And I imagine you also, like, there was probably a version of you prior who was sanitizing certain parts of yourself, and now that you're being more authentic, that is more engaging to a lot of these people. Because I find, and this is my personality, the people on the internet have these like high key, glossy, fake, like very veneer accounts which have a ton of followers. I'm like, there's nothing there for me. But people who have texture and are gross sometimes, but also classy, but also fail all the time, I'm like, yeah, because like that's me. Yeah, because
vulnerability is the key.
Yeah, because I'm disgusting, so I look for disgusting people, which is why you're here. Welcome, Matthew.
Yeah,
thank you. I fit into that.
Do you ever work in X-rated crafts into the things you do? Like, do you ever put like queer sex toys on quilts, or vulvas on Velcro, or dicks on doilies?
I want to point out that he wrote those words in our outline, so that wasn't just coming to the top of his.
I mean, it was eloquent. It was clearly well thought out. Like the way that those words flowed out of your mouth. Have I ever gotten into? No, I haven't. I'm also neurodivergent, so I kind of just like. I'm perpetually like just what like a dog going to the next thing. But one day, who knows? Dicks on quilts might be what I want to do, and it might be a thing. But then I still would need to be the why. What am I trying to? What am I trying to do? Like, is it that I want to show the diversity of dicks, and so each dick is going to look and feel different, and then that might be something different.
I mean, that would be a great learning experience.
but just doing it to be gratuitous and like the shock value. It's like I'm not 20. I'm 47. So there's got to be
we've seen dicks before.
Like, it's got to be an important reason to put dicks on a quilt. So once I find that reason, then I'm there.
For those of you out there who have any ideas of like a really clever way to put dicks on quilts, you know to reach out to MX because
that brings meaning and joy and makes the world a better place in the long run. Because
that part.
I mean, I think it's educational all around, especially for the folks at the conventions and whatnot. Do you go to conventions or conferences to talk crafting and quilting?
I have in the past, and I took a break. I kind of took a break from all of it. I didn't say fuck you to like all of it, but I kind of did, because I just reached a point where I was tired of being used and I didn't know how to get out of it. And I did become that sanitized version, and there were just way too many people that wanted to still try and control me, because it's like with every brand deal that I had, someone was like telling me not to do something and to do something different. And the biggest one was Michael's. Like I was on their Pride display, and like all over the country, every single country. And then in Canada, I was on their Pride display. And before it came out, they asked me to remove some posts, which I did, because I was like, sure. But then after that, once I started speaking out on like the Don't Say Gay bill and like trying to use my platform, they stopped working with me altogether. And I'd worked with them like so much. And there was like so much of that, like to where the conservative women who didn't want me to speak out would then use things that I said to reach out to my brands to try and get them not to work with me anymore. And I was just like, yeah. And it was the same with the whole circuit, the quilting circuit. There are some conservative women in my local area that caused me harm and like told the local shops not to work with me anymore. So it was just a bunch of petty bitch stuff. And I just needed some space from it. But enough space has gone by to where clearly I'm in a healthier place and others are resonating that they're reaching out now. So I just had a guild reach out if I wanted to like present. And I was like, you know what I would do? I would present on gender and my career in sewing and crafting. And that would be the topic. I would love to talk about that just to apply that, because so often there was too many people telling me the only reason I got attention was because I had a dick. They would say that to my face. The reason you're getting attention right now is because you have a penis. That's the only reason.
Which has nothing to do with gender or sexuality. Literally,
Nothing.
They just needed a person with a penis to show diversity in the crafting world.
But if I'm honest, in the very beginning, I got way more attention than I probably should have gotten. So much. I was asked to work. I was a headliner for a quilt exhibit.
No big deal. You kind of lean into the camera. You're like headliner.
But it was 1 year. I was 1 year in of me quilting, and I didn't even have enough quilts to show.
Wow.
So I had to make some more quilts. To where now, in retrospect, I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I see that now, but don't blame me for taking an opportunity, because queer people don't get all the opportunities in the world. Don't blame me. Blame the people who hired me. Blame the system. Blame all of that. So I want to talk about that shit. So if people want me to like do the circuit again, fuck yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it, and I'll put it in their face, and I'll be like, yeah, this is what happened. How do you feel? Is this really why? Because I think I'm fucking amazing. The quilts I make are awesome. Like, maybe not in the beginning, but it was not cool to hold that against me and cause me harm, like literal, actual harm in my area. Like, that's lame.
Does the smell of a craft store make you also have to immediately poop? Like, I walk into a Joann's, and the second those doors open, I'm like, I gotta poop. Is it just me? No,
I think it's just a you situation. Okay. I think it's the opening of the doors.
To my gastroenterologist.
Like, let's go. It's the opening of the doors. Might remind you of an anus, to where you're like, it's opening. Prolapse. Poop. I had coffee. Like,
a little bit of mold.
To me, it's like the smell of like wicker baskets. Something about the smell of the wood wicker baskets.
That is a
That's a just you situation, David. I think you're out on an island with that one.
I am literally adrift in the Aegean Sea at the moment.
Luckily, Matthew, being an influencer, being a crafter is not your primary job. You've had several jobs in the past, and what is actually theoretically paying the bills right now?
Yeah, I'm in HIV pharmaceuticals. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been in pharmaceuticals for 20, so that's my main gig. And as a wee little boy growing up in the 80s and 90s, I always wanted to work in HIV. And I started volunteering in 1994 when I turned 18, and my parents couldn't tell me no. And so I've always been in it, and now I'm working in the field. So that's my gig, and it's really satisfying.
I'm really feeling bad about myself here now because of your complete commitment to all you believe in, and I'm like,
but Gavin, you know every word to Rent, so that's the same thing as working in HIV pharmaceuticals, right?
Yeah, and Legally Blonde, which is basically adjacent. But then also you alluded earlier to having been an asexual sex worker. Do you mind talking about that? Like, where? I would imagine you were like a therapist for people, helping them achieve their better sexual heights through your association. Tell us about it.
Well, back then I didn't know. It's not like I did it when I realized who I was sexually. I was 20, and I went to an all-male college in Indiana, my undergrad. I thought it was more progressive than Houston, and it wasn't. I didn't know. I was like, it's Wabash College. It's
oh my God, Matthew, my dad went to Wabash.
No.
Wait, did you fuck Gavin's dad?
Maybe. No, but I didn't do it there. I did it in my junior year. I was able to intern in New York City, and I interned at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute because that's what my undergrad was in.
We know Lee. I mean, more or less.
And then I ran out of money because I had a full scholarship, and I grew up poor, and my parents were not going to help me, and so I ran out of money like 3 weeks in because I was like, New York,
totally.
And then I was like, I can have sex, I can do this. Well, how can I pay for money? Because I had to work throughout the day at the Strasberg Institute, and so I needed needed something I could do. And so I called up I looked at one of those gay magazines, and it was Wow was the agency, and I looked it up, and I was like, hey, let me come visit you. And I went and I did my thing, and I got the spot, and I was there. And even in that gig, I wanted to be the best. I was the number one escort in the agency the whole time.
Overachievers.
Overachiever from
If
day
you
one.
need somebody to deliver, you come to a gay guy, and like,
This was
yes,
wait,
they
this
will
was late.
deliver.
You said this was in the 90s?
Yeah, it was 1997. And so for me,
so how does somebody access the time? Because there's like no Craigslist then, right? There's no Grindr.
I had a pager. I had a pager, and they would call the agency from the magazine and say, "Hey, this is what I'm looking for," and then I'd get paged, and like I got in good with the madam of the agency, and so they would text me, and like I'm likable, and I was more than just a good lay, and so that I would get repeat customers, and it was cool. But how the asexuality plays into that is that I didn't realize that sex wasn't just transactional for everyone. And so that's how it's always been. Like even when in New York City, I dated a drug dealer. So I had so much coke and I did so many drugs. And for me, sex was just a way to like do that, to where I would me and the drug dealer, we would hire escorts ourselves, and it wouldn't be for the sex. That would just be the activity. So I could do coke the whole time. And so it's like, that's how sex was for me. Oh, that was a hard year. 1997, like coming back from that and realizing the harm that I did to myself, I didn't know.
And then you still were in college. You went back to
did,
Wabash.
and then I went back to Indiana, and like the addiction came with me, and like some of my clients called me up, and I would go on like extended weekends with them and just tell everyone, "Oh, I'm doing a modeling gig. I'm doing this," when that's not what I was doing.
When you were doing the boyfriend experience.
That part. And I was a stripper at this really seedy Indianapolis joint called the Unicorn my last semester to get the money so I could graduate. I barely graduated. I went from being like full scholarship, like dean's list, to like barely
just
graduating.
Crawling over the finish line.
Yeah, but I did it.
College.
But you did it.
Yeah,
You're here.
And you're here to tell about it. And truly, I mean, destigmatizing and opening minds and eyes to all sorts of the ways that we're just trying to get by in life, which isn't so easy. You're doing a great job of doing that, I would say.
Thank you. Because I mean, it's sex work. Who fucking cares? Like, it's a job. You got to do what you got to do. People
sex
are
work is work, and
World's oldest profession.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I do it now? No, I couldn't do that now. That's so much work. Like the cleanup alone, it's just too much.
Yep. But you might have a future. I'm still thinking in the various dicks on quilts. Still, you would be helping educate and inform people as well. So
and it might help me process that experience if I go back.
Right.
That might be this might be the angle.
Oh my
and I'll
god!
call it
And I can see the
1997.
fashion show. Oh my god! I already see the lighting, and it's like we have 90s grunge music happening, and there's just dicks coming out.
And there's some famous dicks in there too. Yeah,
I love a famous dick.
Guess who this is?
So this is unfortunately a parenting podcast. So tell us about some parenting horror stories, because we love to trade like the days where just nothing went right.
Oh my god, it's like, it feels like it's every day. I mean, it's like every day is we're on the precipice of it being a horrible day.
Totally relatable.
My kid's pretty easy, but in the beginning it was just like the not sleeping, the shitting all over the place,
on your quilt,
getting in the way, it was a bunch of that. I don't know that I have a horror story per se. My kid's real easy.
How old is she now?
She's 10.
Oh,
she's 10.
Yeah.
So the horror of it, it's less horror stories than trying to not give up my entire identity to being a dad while not totally like neglecting her at the same time.
All kidding aside, like that is literally why I wanted to start this podcast, was like I found that like being a parent and being a person were so separate in all these other parents' lives, where I was just like, why are we not also talking about your career and your sex life and what you want to do, also being a parent? And it was always like, no, I'm a parent. And that always like bugged me. So I'm so happy to hear you say that, because that is a weird struggle we all go through, is like, I want it to be something else other than a parent. I loved being a parent, but also, can I also be into quilting? Can I also be a sex worker? Can I also want to watch this movie or whatever it is? And so
that part, because it's like I saw my mom lose. I mean, it's the model. It's the American model of parenting. You lose yourself in your kids, and you live vicariously in everything you couldn't accomplish. Like you try and push your kids into doing it, even if they want to. And I'm like, fuck no.
And that's a weird gold standard. It's like if you are obsessed with your kids and you are only a parent, then that's the gold model. It's like no, that's a broken system.
Yeah, so that's been the horror of it for me has been when I get it wrong and I realize how much I fucked up. And so it's less about anything that she's done, because really she's such a good kid. And me saying, like I mentioned off whenever we were chatting that like we were talking about things that like we really got hooked on, me and my kid, and like that took us away from each other. And hers was like an innocent thing. I forgot what it was. And I was like, I wonder what about me? And she was like, don't you remember when you used to live stream all the time? And I was like, oh, fuck. I felt horrible because there was a period when I was obsessed and I did like 5 live streams on TikTok a day because I wanted to grow, because you could grow back then. And I was like, yeah. And so it's a perpetual battle with me wanting to be a famous influencer, knowing I need to be on there, but then hyper-focusing and seeing if I'm growing and stuff and knowing that it takes away from her. That's why I'm so stoked to finally get away for a week. And my family doesn't believe that I'm going to be able to stay off my phone. But I'm going to stay on my phone. I'm really going to
prove it. Because you're going to be the best. You're going to be the best at disconnecting.
I'm going to be the best at it for a whole week.
Isn't it amazing, like when your phone is like restarting or you leave it in the other room and you're like, I'm just going to jump in the car really quick. And you have 3, 5, 10 minutes away from your phone where you're physically not close to it. And you're just like, suddenly you're like, oh, there are birds in the sky. Like suddenly you're like, it literally happened the other day where we were in the car and I went to go pick up my kids. And I was like, you know what? Like I left my phone at home. I'm not turning around. I don't need my fucking phone. And the drive, I was just like looking at the street and looking around and looking at my kids in the mirror. And I was like, okay, this is really fucking sad. And I'm not a famous influencer. Ask Gavin, I am nobody. But I am also always into my phone.
Yeah.
But that's how we live now. It sucks
it's
that
your career
the brief moments that we're like, oh, there's a world out here. And like I'm reminded every week whenever my phone lies and tells me that I've been on it for 13 hours on average every day. And I'm like,
that they're manipulating us always. Well, hey, Matthew, I think it is time for you to go be the best vacationer you possibly can and the most disconnected from your phone. But in the meantime, damn, it was great to hear all of your honesty and transparency.
I want you to bring all of your gay chaos there. I want you to just
all the chaos.
Your vacation, just make it gay chaos.
I'm bringing my chaos to the redwoods. Watch out, redwoods. It's not gonna be the same. And when I
this person knows how to take a big tree. So on that note, Matthew, thank you.
I was the best.
Even, this is a church-going Christian podcast. Why would you say something like that?
Sure is. Matthew, have an awesome summer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So my something great this week, I think is going to make you very happy, Gavin.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So my mom was in town, and my mom was basically asking, like, you know, what are you trying to encourage your son to be or to do? And my husband said, I just want him to be grateful.
And then, your head started spinning, your eyes rolled. You were like, I got to take a walk.
It was too many things. And so my husband came to me. He was like, I think Gavin's going to want to hear what I just told your mom. And so I've been saving it for a while. And it's like, Gavin should know that my husband wants our son to be grateful. So
amazing.
You've influenced our family.
I mean, hey, listen, every single day I bring you up and you bring me down. So that is okay. Well, you know what? Along those lines, kind of along the lines of hoping for gratitude and manipulating your kids' behavior so that they will do the things that you hope they will do. My something great is my iPhone app controls, because from a distance here in the middle of the summer, I am able to absolutely control my child's iPhone usage.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, I'm holding her absolutely hostage. Our agreement in the summertime is that she can have a half hour of screen time in the morning, but then after that, she's got to read for 45 minutes. I mean, she's going into 7th grade. This is not too much to ask. 45 minutes, and then an hour of creativity. And that creativity can be like cooking or playing the piano, which, of course, she refuses to do all these things because she doesn't want to do any of it. She just wants to be on her goddamn phone. But I can control how long that she's on her phone. And you know what? Even though I am essentially terrorizing her entire summer, in the grand scheme of fucking things, we know know that that's not too much to ask, and she can earn her screen time. So thank you for my app control from a distance. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions on how to manipulate my kid even more, or general compliments, you can email us at gatriarchspodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at Gatriarchs Podcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Pornhub.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, and sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Gatriarchs.
All right, so let me just hop into this, and then we'll get into all of the holes.
All of the holes. Oh my God, y'all are funny.
Our next guest is an influencer of a different kind. He is a leader in. I meant to say a leader. Matthew, I'm sorry, I just misgendered you and used he pronouns.
I love that.
Apologize. No,
that's
seriously,
okay.
apologies. And I've already told you.
Send a Venmo request for $5 every time.
Every time. I'm going to keep a tally.
Every single time.
I'm going to keep a tally. I misgender myself all the time. I mean, I'm so handsome. I get it. It's.
I mean, and also it's a brave new world of you being like whatever the fuck you want to be too. So
that part.
And the handsomeness and the awesomeness.
And
don't let him talk you out of the $5.
And if you do it, leave it in there. The catch and correct is a good thing to leave in there, honestly. So
catch and correct.
I don't get offended by it because it's like whatever. We live in a binary world. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a binary world. But I love the term catch and correct. Love that.
Catch and correct. Yeah.